about, trying to figure out what it's all about. Existentialist, am I worth anything or just a scout? I don't know.
I don't know. I don't know.
That was a great sounds Watts with Outside on WNHH LP 103.5 FM New Haven. Myself, Preston, with my partner in crime, Long Island raised, Elm City made, Mr. EZ BlueZ. Easy, you are always better with introductions more than me. Who do we have with us on the show today?
Ladies and gentlemen, look up in the sky. Do you see the microphone? I want you to know that means the Avengers are to assemble. Understand that you need to take the hottest to hardest MCs out there. You need to put them together. So for each of their sentences will build the perfect paragraph just the way things go.
Yeah.
When you look at things and you say, hey, hip-hop is not as lyrical as it should be, they said, say less. When people said, it became a little too auto-tuned, they said, say less. When they said hip-hop needed to come back and be about the lyrics, they said, say less. And for that, I want you to put your hands together, not if you're driving. If you're driving, keep your hands at 10 and 2. We don't need any accidents. But mentally, put your hands together for the fantastic, the amazing, the supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. Northern League's in the house. We have HGO and Vega with us today. Bless
Hey, what's going on? What's going on, families?
What's up? What's up, fellas?
Everything's great, man. Good to see you guys.
Yeah,
Good to
man.
see you. Good to be seen.
It's always a pleasure, man. You know how we do.
Let's get in here.
I don't want to talk about your past. I want to talk about your future. What haven't you guys done?
I should let Vega take that. So, but what haven't we done?
I'm actually thinking. I'm pondering that right now. Like
we haven't played Vegas yet.
Haven't played Vegas.
We haven't played Vegas yet. So
have not done that. But I mean, everything else, I think our past definitely is a good representation of where we've been, and the new music that we're doing now is a sign of the time, and I think it shows the maturity, and it's definitely it's a good start to where our future's headed. It's a good entryway for us. So.
What does the name?
Vega.
Oh, my bad. Go ahead, Vega. I'm sorry.
Oh no, I was just agreeing with my brother.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. I thought I was gonna cut you off. I didn't mean to do that. I want to be polite.
No, sir.
But for the name Continental, what does that signify to both of you? That name mean? Why that name chosen?
You know what? The project was funny because it went through a couple of different names and a couple of different visuals and things like that. And I had I had one of those 3 a.m. moments where you just sit and you want something that's timeless. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And when I thought about timeless luxury, timeless just dopeness. Every era has always had the dope Lincoln. Lincoln has always been one of those things that it's like a flagship. You know what I mean? It's a flagship of excellence. And I want to kind of do something that was kind of retro, but yet modern in the same sense. And that's where, Continental, even though if you see one of those old school, whether it's a 79, 80, any of the old school year Lincoln Continentals that are still in pristine condition, you just love them for what they are. You know what I mean? And I think Vega and I have been through so much that I think that we've stood the test of time, as a group, as friends and everything. And that just kind of symbolized that timeless elegance, you know what I mean? That timeless sense of just being, we're still here and we're still ready to ride, you know what I'm saying?
When Northern League and Enemy Child first connected, what sparked that collaboration?
Enemy Child's been one of the producers that we've been working with since pretty much day one. Enemy Child, he actually produced one of our bigger songs that appeared on House of Lies with Don Cheadle, King Kong. And then when we just started to get back into it, he was like waiting for the call. He was ready for it. You know what I mean? He was like, let's go. And then he's been doing different things. He did the first comeback single for us, which was Equator. And then we've been we've been just riding out with him ever since. So it was, as he's growing as a producer and we're evolving as a group, it was important for us to include him in this series of kind of like, a trio, you know what I mean? Vega, myself, representing Northern League, and him and Enemy Child with the production. It's kind of important to represent him because he's done so much work for us. He's been a pivotal point of our success,
What track holds the deepest meaning to you? This is a question for both of you.
Vega, you could take that one.
Motivational Revenge.
That's my favorite one.
Well, you said the one that holds most meaning. That one, yeah, that one I really do like. But my favorite track is Say Less.
I had a feeling. That's why I went with that with the intro.
Man.
Press, I'm having a hard time hearing you a little bit.
You hear me now?
Yeah. I'm just making sure that you guys can hear me okay.
Oh, no.
Yeah, we can hear you.
You're perfectly. Okay,
cool.
My camera feel like it got attacked. I'm sorry about this, but
oh no. For I think for me, my favorite track. Honestly, I think for me, my favorite track is probably a mixture. I got two of them. It's the Phantasm Pitch and probably Clocking Seasons, just because it's, it shows a little bit about where we come from or came from without telling too much of the story. Because we want to try to hook people in for the next level of what we're coming back with, because we are going to do a Continental too. We're already working on it.
Don't give that out. Don't give it out yet.
Give it up.
Give everything. Give everything out. Yeah. Just like the rock, just like the hip hop opera we're working on. It's
absolutely
that's we'll talk all about that a little later.
Yeah. There's got to be stages to it, and again, just being timeless. I think the small body of work that we put together with Continental One, we're gonna call it C1. I think it just everything felt right. The music felt right, the concepts felt together, the bars felt together, and it was one of those things like, why wouldn't we continue on and do a part 2 to this? One of those quick in and outs. It's like, what it's like? It's like a successful bank robbery. We did it once. Let's do it again.
Yeah, exactly.
That's Ocean's 11 style.
Yeah, man. Yeah. It's again, it's always a joy and a pleasure to work with Vega and Enemy Child. You know what I mean? So it's been great in that aspect of still being able to make music with people that you love. You know what I mean?
Did you experiment with new styles or techniques in this EP?
Vega, that's on you, man.
Well, I felt that when the track got handed to me, I just let the track tell me what it wanted me to do. I don't know if people would understand that, but from a musical standpoint, I just let the track take me there. And then I just tried to create a visual for that and just put it in song form.
Easy. You're a musician. Break it down real quick for the average mind.
What it really breaks down to is what you see as the music that you hear. I always say you first have the musical background, and then you have the musical background, and then you have your little I just heard myself again, and I got weirded out there for a second. No, it's fine. Wow, right. My voice is strange today. But no, you have the little chisel, and it is your job to come up with the meaning of the song from the chisel, and the words will come to you, or if you have some sort of idea of the story in which you're looking to tell, you have the track tells you what story is going to be told. The track itself is living and breathing. It's just our job to put the proper lyrics to that track.
Yeah, and it's more, to get in more depth, it's like the melody of the track. Like when you hear this track and you just listen to it, and then I just paint a picture from there.
Yeah, I think we've had a lot of success of being able to, first off, because there's at this point there's so many of us, with live and and Mark
and
Kotick. It's so interesting to be able to paint with so many different colors. You know what I mean? And it's like it's like choosing the right, the right paints to go in the right rooms and everything. And with Vega and I are day one, so it's easiest. It's like, it's Tom and Jerry. It's
it really is simple. I mean,
I know where he goes left, I'm gonna go right. We're gonna connect in the middle. I know where he's gonna go with it. So, and I told him this the other day. I don't think I've ever called him back and said, yo, nah, you got to do that over. You know what I mean? Like it's always consistent with Vega, and it's like trusting, who you're working with to be able to consistently just deliver. He always has that. So I think with dealing with Enemy Child this go around on this particular project, it was interesting to just kind of lay down hooks, send it to Vega, have Vega knock out his verse, send it back to me. I knock out my verse, and then we just move on. And it's been mixing and mastering and stuff like that. It's been an easy process. You know what I mean? And it's so as Easy probably knows, it's so easy to just create things, mix them, master them, and get things out now. It used to be
just like
to wait for. Sometimes we would wait for a year and a half before a song would actually come out.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
Now I can be done with a full song, be done with the actual structure of the song by starting it in the morning, done in the evening, and then mixed and mastered, the next couple of days later if we're happy with it, everything. So it's the process has been a lot quicker nowadays, which is why I think for 2024 and 2025, I think we've released back-to-back projects. We probably took the holiday time off, but we've put out a lot of music. We put out more music in these last few months than we've put out in the 10, 12, 13 years that we've been working. Probably more than that, but
I actually remember I was telling you the turnover for the Continental was so fast. I was like, wow, we're done. He was like, yeah.
I think when you have something and you feel good about it, I think too many artists overthink it nowadays.
Oh yeah, definitely.
And they keep going back. They keep trying to figure out whether you keep critiquing certain things. No, I got to do this, I got to do that, and the perfectionist in all of us sometimes cancels out the whole entire project before you know it. You're on mix number 15, and 6 months has gone by, and you're like, why didn't I just do this 6 months ago? It's the same thing. You know what I mean? Well, I think having a certain amount of control this time around, I'm actually able now to write the song, record the song, mix it, master it to my liking, and then put it out. I think it gives us a huge leg up because I'm able to do that. Everything is in-house.
Right.
Now, since I heard all that information, and since you two are day ones, how do each one of you push each other creatively to be better? Since everything is getting easier and everything's second nature now, how do you push yourselves to be better versions of yourself than you already are right now?
Well, for me, and we kind of like had a conversation about this probably earlier in the week, but I told him, like, I kind of think about like what Biggie said, like you got to take everything as if it's your first project, like it's your first thing. Like for the C2, I already know what we're gonna do. Like we're gonna take that C1 and put that out, and this is new. Like we never put out the Continental.
Yeah,
let's just do it. You got to take everything like it's your first project, man. You have to.
I think for me, I've always been such a chameleon to everybody. Obviously, Vega knows me the longest out of all the guys now. but I think for me, it's always being able to switch hats and keep these guys on their toes. Because when I send them a song, they don't know whether I'm gonna rap on it, sing on it.
Yeah.
If I did the
Does
beat,
have a point.
if I just keep throwing stuff at them. They're like, "Yo, when did you do this? And how did what happened? What?"
Yo,
So it's
what's
constantly
crazy?
keeping them on their toes. And I'm always telling, like, I always like with Vega, Mark, Live, and Kotick, you know, they're lyricists, man. So I keep them in a place where I can still get in the ring with y'all. they keep them surprised. You know,
It's
like,
that
yo.
Toby Keith song. I'm not as good as I once was, but just once I'm as good as I ever was.
Yeah. You know, sometimes I want to rap. Sometimes I want to rap. You know, sometimes I want to do I want to do other things. But I think with Continental, it was so much fun, and I was actually enjoying it. I was like, man, hold on, because you know, Vegas sends you something. You can't just if Vegas sends you a full 10 back, you can't just go halfway and be like, man, nah. You know, you can't be all lax about it. You gotta just be like, nah. I'm gonna send him a 10 back. Matter of fact, I'm gonna send him a 20 back. Now what? You know. So it becomes a little bit you're challenging each other. You know, you're pushing each other just to be great.
It's good.
Are there any lyrics that you're insanely proud of with this collaboration?
You know, I enjoyed the lyrics on Motivational Revenge. I enjoyed the lyrics on Say Less. Honestly, I just enjoyed the whole entire thing.
Yeah.
I guess I'd be particularly proud of the stuff on Motivational Revenge because it just seemed so hip hop, just, you know, so freestylish, you know, in and out, you know, that 1-2 punch, and it just came off dope to me. You know what I mean? So I kind of miss doing that. You know, it didn't really have a hook, but it did have a hook. You know what I'm saying? There was a little bit of a, you know, a scratching in there, you know, which brought back again all the elements of hip hop. So it just that one I think was my favorite, really, when I break it down.
Lyric wise, I think Phantasm Pitch, because it's a little out there. Yeah, because I had to delve into some things I had cooped up, like some stress, and then put it on paper. If you listen to the song, you'll be like, yeah, something was wrong with him right here. Yeah,
going through something at the time.
Yeah,
going through it.
Exactly. Yeah, so I just put it down on lyrics, man.
And you know, and the same thing with Phantasm Pitch, we also wanted to go back to something that was kind of classic, but yet we can kind of modernize it. You know, I don't know how many people remember Phantasm, the actual movie Phantasm.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And he had the whole, you know, the spheres that he used to throw out, you know. So it was just a combination of paying homage to, you know, a classic cult movie and just doing some dope bars, and, you know, coming together and making it real, you know, real easy to listen to. You know, replay value is big for me right now.
Right.
You know what I mean? So this whole project was kind of built on replay value.
Now, it's really interesting that you bring that up because there's a lot of people who aren't industry heads. They're going to be like, replay value. Obviously, it's how much you want to re-listen to the album, the record over and over and over again. But what is that, and how do you determine replay value while you're mixing, mastering, and getting the project ready to rock and roll?
I'm always, when I'm mixing and mastering, and you'll definitely understand this from your band point of view. There's a certain tinniness in music nowadays where it just sounds too bright. You know, there's not enough warmth to it. And I think that's one of the things that kind of turns people away from songs. So when people are mixing and mastering songs, if that music is right in your face and it's kind of like, it's too sharp, you know what I mean? I think that's one of the things that's turning a lot of people off from, some of the music that's out now. So I think on this project, and actually for the majority of the stuff that we've been doing, I've been trying to bring a certain warmth to it to make it feel good and easy to listen to, multiple times. There's nothing sticking out there or jagged or poking you in the eye. You know what I mean? I want to make sure that all the music sounds crisp but warm. I want to make sure all the vocals sound full, full body, you know what I'm saying, and warm without being too over the top and punchy in your face. So I think that, to me, it definitely helps with the replay value. You know what I mean? Because if it's easy listening, easy listening, that just says it right there. If it's easy listening, you're just going to continue to listen to it. If it comes on, it doesn't bother you. You know what I mean?
Right. Now, it's so interesting that you actually do use the term easy listening in different aspects there, because for all those who go back to the record store days like myself, and you have the different kind of genres that music was broken up into, easy listening was one of them, and was one of the furthest points away. It was hip hop and easy listening were like literally competing against each other. And now you're sitting in the understanding of the aspect of where you need it to be easy listening to the ear itself, so that you can bob the head along to it. What was it like to get that determination for you?
I mean, if you think about all the different eras of hip hop. Let's just start with like KRS-One, Boogie Down Productions, My Philosophy. Let us begin. What, where, why, or when. If you go into what his delivery and then the music that came in, that was just, it brought you somewhere, but it was also really easy to follow and listen to, and it made you feel something. And then as you move on to that, from that era to like Reasonable Doubt, Jay-Z, still the mixing of it, the mastering of it, very easy, very, very warm to listen to and hear on the radio. Go to Biggie. I think all of the greats have always followed that process, and then somewhere down the line we kind of took a sharp left, and it just became mixes just became right. I think people started sacrificing quality for quantity.
Era changed,
and the era has changed, and it became more about, let me just put this out. Oh, I mixed this in my bathroom or my basement, and they weren't paying attention to detail. And for me personally, I just want to bring it back to the point where, we can, because the machine is different now, we can put more out, but I want to put out quality, and I want to put out, I want to have that quality be a certain quantity too. So it's running the race, at the same level, making sure that the quality and the quantity are both right here. You know what I mean? So, yeah.
Quality on WNHHLP 103.5 FM New Haven. Myself, Preston, and my partner in crime, Long Island Raised, Elm City Made, Mr. EZ BlueZ. Great people are with us. HGO in Vega, Northern League is with us on WNHHLP 103.5 FM New Haven. Are there any hidden Easter eggs or messages within this project you think Day One fans should know, or you don't want to give out too much away?
I think certain songs, I think you see there are some Easter eggs, there are some gems and stuff like that. Because for Northern League, we've always been one of those, it was an anthem thing, it was a party thing. We never really got too much into our actual lifestyles, or how we got certain places, or how we got here. You know what I mean? So I think there's some Easter eggs about how we were able to do certain things at a certain time, and then if you hear some of the songs, you go, oh, okay, I know what they're talking about without knowing what they're talking about. You know what I mean? So certain people who listen to the songs and they know us, they'll understand it fully. And then I'm hoping that the other people who don't know us, they'll start to do research, and certain things you'll find out, certain things that are noted, Certain things you won't find out. You just have to use your imagination with it.
Certain things were before posting on all sorts of social media.
Absolutely. I believe that Vega and I come from an era of everything is,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
and it is what it is. You know what I mean? So yeah, there's definitely some Easter eggs in there. There's definitely some fun things in there where it's like when you hear something being said, you're not questioning that. You're like, you know what? The way he said that, yeah, he did that.
Yeah, that was meant. That was meant. That was definitely meant there. There was some meaning behind those words. And that's one of the things that I love about this EP in particular is as everything is broken down and I got to listen to it last night after coming home from doing the door at Cafe 9. So I was 2:00 in the morning, slightly altered, and I'm enjoying this EP as it continues to flow through. But now I always ask the musician, what's next? Because everyone on the couch understands what it's like to go into a studio and understands the concept of going into the studio. But is the record done? When you've just released it into the world, is the record done? Or is there a whole nother process and a whole nother strategies that need to be made and developed to go through that process? Because there's a lot of people who don't know that process, and they really do need to know it because, you can release 1.5 million different records a day, go ahead and do that. But if you're not promoting it, no one's going to know about it. You can have the best record ever out there.
As soon as the record's done, I mean, that's when the actual work starts. That's when the constant marketing, the promotion of it, the visuals, the visual content, and how much you can actually keep pushing it. And I think for this project, actually, it's one of the first times that we've done like kind of video freestyles, and then with the addition of adding AI elements into it and being able to create images and visuals through AI. I think it's again made the process a lot easier for us. You don't have to get a big camera crew anymore and just go around and start filming and stuff like that. You know what I mean? We were able to set up in a certain location and do a great freestyle video to one of the songs. I've been able to sit and edit, along with Enemy Child, different images and video that we've created utilizing AI. And I think that's part of that not new process, but that's part of that process in getting the actual project out. What's next for us? Obviously, Vega drops his Street Reporter single pretty much right after we did the C1 project. Live dropped a solo project. Mark dropped the solo EP. Kodak has an EP coming out in the next week or so, and then we're going back into a whole full Northern League project where there'll be pretty much every song that we started on this rebrand with. We're gonna drop all those songs together on one album with an additional few gems, and then we'll drop C2, and then we'll just keep the cycle going. So we have a couple of other people that we're working with. I'm actually starting to work with Manny James again.
Oh, nice.
Which is you guys know him. He's phenomenal. Having Calloway, another just phenomenal, artist. Hard to get a hold of, but but phenomenal to work with, and we're gonna keep delivering until we get back to our main producer, FS, who took some time away from the business. So as he's ready to get back into it, we'll be running on all cylinders. So
what feedback surprised you with this project?
You know what? I think the biggest feedback that I had that was a pleasant surprise. It was for people to be like, yo, I've been doing it for a while, man, and y'all still sound like good together. You know what I mean? Like it wasn't a surprise. It was like I've got a couple of phone calls be like, yo, man, this is dope. There was no surprise there. You and Vega just always sound good together, you know. So it's just like peanut butter jelly, you know what I mean? So, but yeah, man, I've had a couple of compliments on each individual song. This is my favorite song. This is my favorite for this reason. And it's whether it's the bars, the flow, the hook, or whatever the case is, there's always something for everybody there. So that was the biggest compliment.
You chose a cohesive format for this. 6 songs in 12 minutes. Tell me why that was done on purpose.
It's that 1-2 punch. You don't get bored of it.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's like sometimes you put on a project and you're like, all right, skip. Oh, this is too long. This one individual song is 8 minutes long. I don't know why. Skip. And I just thought that if you put this on and you put this on in your car, it's by the time you get in the car, you turn it on. By the time you get to your location, whether it's home or your next club or whatever the case is, this is over. Right. It's already done. We're not trying to take up too much of your day. I just want a brief minute. Just hear me out for a second. You know what I mean? And then pay attention, and then let me let you get back to your normal life. But come into our world for a bit.
Now, do you find that also helps a lot when you're in this social media forum of marketing, where you have only 15 seconds really to catch someone's attention before they're on to the next visual?
Absolutely. I mean, and that was another thing that we took into consideration as well, you know, because I had a couple of people who are, again, core producers that we work with. Oh man, maybe you should throw a hook on top of this and do a bridge and do, you know, and that's great. That is the typical format. And normally I would do some stuff like that. But when you have to find balance between this new world and that classic, you know, hip hop, you got to say, you know what, the normal attention span is not there anymore. You know what I mean?
It's very short now.
It's very, very short. So I want to be able to capture new listeners, as well as, okay, let's give, you know, the faithful listeners that have been there for a while with us, let's give them something to actually hold on to with something with some length, some extra, a bridge, a chorus, or whatever, a couple of times. You have to cater. We try to cater this to everybody. Everybody has something to eat. And making it like this, to touch back on your question, is it just makes it easy for things like TikTok and for Instagram or whatever the case, you know, Switch, whatever, to do a visual and be in and out, you know, or break the actual visual down into, you know, certain phases of it. Like, okay, this is the opening chorus, boom, we're gonna break that down. All right, Vega's verse, boom, my verse, chorus, and then we're out. And then before you know it, you have 8 pieces of content off of a 1 minute song.
And that's really where we're evolving to as, you know, entertainers. Is it's not just the medium of the record anymore. It's not just the medium of the live show. It's the medium of the social media personality. It's the medium of, you know, being, for a lot of people, being the voice of the voiceless. Really being out there. And what I love about how you guys do it is you guys stick to what you do, what you know. You're not trying to dabble into like controversial aspects of things just to make a penny. You know, you're looking at things and you're going, this is the story I want to tell. This is the story I know about, and this is where it's going to be. How much is that rooted in you guys? Like how, you know, being real to yourself is so important.
Thank you. That's on you, man.
Well, I feel that's very important, man. You have to be real with yourself, man. And I think dealing with me and him, we've like you said, we've been day one since day one. And I feel it's not, I think the money thing will come. I think you really should do it for the love, for the culture. You really should. Like, I mean, if you in it for money, cool. I mean, I don't hate nobody for what they do, but I just love it. I love it. That's why I think we lasted so long, and that just shows longevity. So I just love it. I love hip hop.
I think being real,
Mhm.
you know, keeping everything 100%, it again resonates and with
Mhm.
different people, because you know there's so many times you listen to music and you go, nah, I don't really believe you.
Yeah, you do.
You weren't really there. You weren't there. You didn't see it. You didn't do that. You know, but you know, when we're saying something, if we're saying Ludell's on the late night, Johnny and Glasses, him and I are at Ludell's on the late night. Johnny Walker, whatever the case is, you know, is we're no strangers. people will see us there. So I mean, this keeping 100%. You know, it feels. I think this whole project came together organically.
Nice.
You know, so
Were there tracks that evolved differently due to jamming together versus working separately?
actually, this entire project we worked separately,
Hmm.
right? Because
Yeah,
I
we
don't
did.
think I don't think
Yeah.
Vega actually. So normally our normal case would be Vega would be in the studio with me all the time. I
Mhm.
don't think this project we didn't even work together.
Nope.
Like
Wow.
we were in different locations.
We're on the phone. We FaceTime. That's about
You
it.
know, it became a FaceTime thing, or it's like, yo, or I would just send him something that's like 90% done, and he'd be like, oh damn, all right, all I gotta do is
Yeah.
drop a verse right here.
Mm.
You know, with with the table talk song, you know, this certain I had Vega verses. He didn't even know I had the song.
Yeah. That's another conversation. I was like, wow. Okay. All right. Then.
He's like, when did I do this?
Yeah,
You
because
know, that's crazy.
you
I'll
do
send
so
him
much
back a song.
stuff.
He's like, he's got a first verse and a second verse on it. He's like, I don't even when did you get this? Where did this beat come from? When did I do this? And it's done. And it's on the project. And he's like, all right, well,
Yeah.
There you go.
yeah. So it's I had fun making this. I had a lot of fun. You know, I'm me personally, I think I'm having more fun making music at this point in my life than ever
That's
before.
awesome. That's awesome.
Man.
Beautiful, man.
Are you planning to revisit any of these tracks with a remix or expanded production?
Yes,
Hmm.
all of this stuff, this entire project will end. I would say this project and the following project, C2, FS will get his hands on all of it and he'll remix
Nice.
all of it. That's just how it goes. He already asked me right off the bat. He was like, all these songs are up for grabs. I was like, do whatever you want to do, man. And once he puts his spin on it, you never know where it's going to go. So I just say yes, and he makes it happen. Something crazy always comes back.
When are we bringing the Continental to the stage? When you guys perform it again?
Yes.
Ooh, I don't know. Vay, you got something left in the tank?
Challenge.
Whatever, bro.
I would
Obviously,
love
got
to
a
do
good
that.
microphone. First, I got to check the microphone out. Let me see the microphone first. You've been down that road. I just need to see the microphone. Yeah. And then we can do whatever. Yeah.
We're actually supposed to, and he doesn't even know this yet because I just kind of confirmed it. We're supposed to have a White Plains performance coming up.
Oh wow. Nice.
It's kind of like an open mic thing, but there's a fashion show going on as well, and we got invited to be special guests and actually, you know, perform there. So it's the way they're going to do it is going to be actually kind of cool because we'll actually be able during the fashion show we'll be able to perform with certain models, and then there's going to be a segment of it where we'll be able to actually model clothing. So
Nice.
if he doesn't know this, so he's probably like, "What?"
Different hats. They have different hats for you. That's really what it comes down to.
So yeah, so Compulsive is putting it together, Compulsive
Okay.
Manic, and it should be pretty dope. So yeah.
What do you wish listeners take away after hearing the Continental? As I say this on WNHHLP 103.5 FM New Haven.
For me personally, is I think with hip hop, there's no timeline on hip hop anymore. Like, I don't care whether you're in your 20s or whether you're in your 50s. You know, no one kicked out Miles Davis. No one kicked out Mick Jagger. No one kicked out Elton John. You know what I mean? And no one should kick you out. You know what I mean? Your voice matters. You know, which is why we get a new Raekwon project, a new LL Cool J project, a new, you know, this or that. Yeah. I think hip hop did that to themselves a while ago, where it was like, oh man, you X amount of old and you still rap. No, man, you always have something to say. It's a teaching moment. You got something to teach. You live your life. So I would say to anybody out there, well, doesn't matter how old you are. If you have a voice, use it. You have a talent, use it. Creative outlet.
My last question. Any stories or shout outs from fans that resonated to you the most? This is for a question for both of you personally.
I would say me. I had let him know that, well, when the album dropped, I had let some family know. And man, he had called me like about 9 at night, like, yo, cuz, oh my gosh, man, like, we bumping this all the way down to South Carolina, man. We're going to see my pops. I had to translate some stuff for my sister because I had told her that, you know, hip hop evolves and shit. I was like, oh my gosh, man. But it's support, man. See, it's support like that keeps me like, you know what? Wait till they hear C2.
Yeah.
Wait till they hear C2. Y'all think that was something? Oh, we gonna cook something up now.
I keep thinking we're playing Battleship when you're like C1, C2. I was like, oh, something with Battleship.
Continental. I think for me it's just being able to still get that same feeling. I got this feeling I got for this Continental project is the same feeling that I had when those who've been around us for such a long time understand. It's the same feeling I had when we dropped Wet Paint. You know, when Keith and I dropped Wet Paint a long time ago, that was something that really changed everything for us. You know what I mean? Because that project was all over everywhere, from CSI Miami to Stomp the Yard. You know what I mean? So I get the same feeling when I listen to this Continental project. It's so, again, easy listening, and it's just, to me, it's just a perfect balance of where we're at right now and where we were.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
What we're doing, man.
Gentlemen, thank you so much. We appreciate y'all. And these last couple minutes are for the both of you. Please replug the Continental. Please plug everything coming up for the rest of 2025 and 2026. And any motivation you want to give to the people. So, and Instagram tags too, so people can follow you guys. So this is all for you. Go ahead.
You can follow me at Instagram, Scar Vega. Where else am I at, man? I'm on TikTok, Vega World 73. Northern League, you can find us everywhere. That's on that's on Instagram as well, and on TikTok.
Yep.
That's Northern League.
Northern League Music on YouTube, Northern League on Instagram, Northern League on TikTok and Twitter. Continental is streaming everywhere music is to be streamed at right now. Street Reporter, which is Vega's single, is also streaming everywhere.
Thank you.
Check us out and follow us on Spotify. Mark Matthews project on Spotify right now. Check him out. And Live the 4-5 project on Spotify as well. Check him out. All part of Northern League. And that's all we got, man. C2 is coming soon. Sooner than you think.
HGO, Vega, you are welcome anytime to be a part of this broadcast. We appreciate every conversation that we have with you guys.
We appreciate you, bro.
No doubt. On WNHHLP 103.5 FM New Haven, myself, Preston, and Mr. EZ BlueZ. Appreciate everyone. Thank you so much.
What's the cookie mix?
That's a fact.
Activating the microbeam.
Fantastic daggers in the chrome balls, paws ready coming for your neck. Wolverine claws. I'm high power since birth. What's your worth? Not a damn thing to me. Please call this man a hearse. We the worst. Separate the evil saints from the church. I'm like lurch. Let me serve you up first. Something nice, put you on ice. We don't think twice. Roll the dice, snake eyes. You can catch the first slice. Pennywise, I can tell by the fear in your eyes. Dollar dumb, black box, death came as a surprise. Euthanize every dog has his day up in the sky. Victimized, come outside, they're prepared to be brutalized. Currency is all that we know, I done dodged every Rico, Northern League. What's the people, Mr. Fuji and Saito? Only time will tell, so we winding up. 10 toes down when we grinding up. Used to kill the game, had them lining up. You never really know when your time is up. You never really know when your time is up. Used to kill the game, had them lining up. 10 toes down when we grinding up. Only time will tell, so we winding up.
Warning to you guys, we plotting on your demise. Catch him on that dark alley, shit, he acting on surprise. Got you bleeding from a knife pull, falling to the ground, life slipping. Wishing that you should've had a life coach. A Hellraiser, clone dome with a hockey mask. Got your boy running in fear, cause he might be next. Let him run, he can never hide. All I got is time, his days are numbered, I done set aside. Don't be pleading for your life while I'm tethering your body to the bumper. Prepare for the reckoning, critically acclaim my reign and cause terror. Scar my name in the brain of the lames of y'all era.
Only time will tell, so we winding up.